rolling. I'll just stand over on this side of this.
I'll show that side.
Yeah, come over on this side.
Look at that.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sheriff Wayne Ivey of the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, and I'm joined today by our Public Safety Director, Matt Wallace, and also our Director of Emergency Operations, John Scott. We want to give everybody a quick update. We're going to try and keep this very brief because we know everybody's making last-minute plans, running through their checklist, everything else. But we want to give you a quick update on the latest location or projected path of the storm, what we can expect, those type of things, so that everybody has all they need to protect them, their family, their homes, their businesses, their pets, everything they need. So I'm going to ask John to kind of give us an update on the storm and where we're going, and I'll step out of the way there.
Thank you, Sheriff, and good afternoon, everyone. So I know everyone's following along with the storm. As the Sheriff said, you're really using this time to get prepared. Here's a quick update on where we are. This is the latest 2 p.m. advisory from the Hurricane Center. Again, we know that Hurricane Ian is in that period where it's intensifying between Cuba and Florida. As it approaches the West Coast in that Fort Myers area, we expect that's sort of where landfall is right now, and then we'll continue up through the sort of the center of the state after it makes that West Coast jog. But what's important to us here in Brevard is that all of the really heavy weather is going to be on that eastern side of Ian. So that's really what we're watching for. And we're not really talking about hurricane winds. What we're really talking about is heavy rainfall and the potential flooding that can come from that. So we know we're already pretty wet. We know we've already seen a lot of rain. And unfortunately, Ian looks like he's going to bring some more rain with us. So what does that more rain look like? Right now, we're talking probably 5 to 8 inches, with as much as sort of 10 plus inches in those areas where that localized rain hits. So that means just constant rain coverage in a particular spot. So definitely not an outcome we were hoping for, but something we're getting prepared for, and I know you all are as well. We talk about winds. We do expect to see some sustained tropical storm force winds in the county, probably beginning sometime tomorrow afternoon to midday, and then continuing through the evening and into Thursday. The exact timing on that's going to have a lot to do when Ian makes that sort of movement across the state and where all that weather is on the east side. But the big thing is we will see some rain tonight out ahead of the storm, and then you'll see it start to get sort of what we call squally, or sort of that afternoon thunderstorm kind of thing that just sort of rolls through, and then conditions will sort of deteriorate throughout the day. But it really is a rainfall event for us, Sheriff.
Okay. So as John said, this is a different storm for us. A lot of times we're seeing the impact come off of our coast. This one's coming across. So our biggest challenge is going to be the depth of rain we get. We're already pretty saturated, so we know that we could have potential flooding. We're asking everybody to remember our sandbag location. The 4 of them throughout the county are open until 6 p.m. tonight. After that, we'll be shutting those down. There are no mandatory evacuations in place at this time, and we don't anticipate any. We're not going to be closing down bridges, anything of that nature, but we are asking you to take this extra time we have. As John said, the storm's arrival for us is going to depend on what it does in the next few hours. But what we're asking is run through your checklist, get everything done. I know a lot of the store shelves are empty right now, but any last minute things you need, and please, not just for you and your family, but also for your pets, any medications, anything like that, in case we lose power. All of those things are possible factors in this as we go. So just be ready. This is one that we're all going to ride out together. It's going to be, as John said, a big rainfall event for us, but we don't take anything light. We work together as a community. There won't be any type of restrictions on people coming out or anything like that. We don't do that in Brevard County. Our citizens always work great with us. Our schools are closed for tomorrow and Thursday. A decision will be made as the storm progresses about Friday, but right now our Brevard Public Schools are closed on Wednesday and Thursday. We've got some other closures that are also taking place, some government closures. So I'm going to ask Matt to step in and talk about that a little bit.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Sheriff Ivey. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Our job as public servants is to get the citizens of Brevard County the information you need to make informed decisions. So thank you for tuning in. Continue to tune in throughout this event. We will continue to push information out. So again, you can get the most data that you can to make great decisions for you and your family. In terms of closures of what's happening, Brevard County Government Services will close tomorrow at 2 p.m. Then we will continue to evaluate, and they will close at 2 p.m. tomorrow and remain closed through Thursday. We will evaluate then Thursday and Thursday night to see when the storms subside, and we may open government services sometimes on Friday, depending on what the storm conditions are and what the weather's like on the ground. We also have our waste management functions that we're going to be closing tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning. So we're going to have a first run, quick local run. Then the waste management sites throughout the county are going to start closing down at 10:30 to give them enough time to secure their facilities and get as much debris out of your yards and out of the Brevard County as we can, so those don't become hazards when the winds arrive. We also, Sheriff, I was going to talk about protective actions.
Sure.
We can turn that back over to John, or I'll turn that back over to you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, he talked, Matt talked a little bit about debris. I think all three of us will tell you, that's one of the hazards we could have. Please go out and secure everything in your yard. Also, be a great neighbor. I know we've got a lot of seniors in our community, a lot of our military families that their spouse is out of town, maybe not here to help them. Go out, be a great neighbor, help them secure everything in their yards. You can secure stuff in your pool, any type of limbs, debris like that. Don't just leave them out by the road, because they're going to get picked up if we have any type of wind gusts or anything of that nature. So, John, did I skip anything on that? Or
no, sir, you're absolutely nailing those things, right? We talk about debris. We talk about also the importance of, storm drains, right? And sort of, if you can, make sure you're keeping your storm drains clean from any sort of debris that does get in it, right? We don't want storm drains backing up and flooding some neighborhoods. So everyone can help us with that. We really appreciate that.
Yeah. And then again, just be prepared. This thing could go on. In fact, this thing will go on for hours. So wherever you're going to get to and weather out the storm, please get there in plenty of time. Traffic's getting a little bit heavy out there. Get there in plenty of time. Sit there. Don't be moving around. Remember, if we get any type of sustained wind gusts, our first responders may not be able to get to you. Our fire rescue team with their big trucks and the ambulance, the winds can shut them down, and even us with our patrol cars. So be mindful of where you are if an emergency happens. And that emergency may not be storm related. It might be somebody having a heart attack or something of that nature out on the side of the road. We want to be able to respond and get to you. So please be mindful of that as we go through this event. The last thing is, and I don't know if that's what you were, shelters.
Yeah.
John's going to talk real quick about shelters, and then we'll close out.
Yep. No, you're right on top of it as always. So we are going to talk about some sheltering again. Really focused on heavy rain, potential flooding for us. We are going to be opening 3 shelters. We're finalizing those details and the support mechanisms necessary to get those up and running. So we'll have locations and times out for everyone here in the next couple hours. We'll get that out widely through our channels, Sheriff, through your channel. So that's Facebook, Twitter, our text alerts, all of our media partners. We'll get that out there wide, because again, what we're focused on and where these shelters are going to be driven by is that flooding area. So they're going to be located in those areas where we already know we're pretty full, where we have historically flooded, so that anyone who is either at risk of flooding or maybe already experiencing some minor flooding has a safe place to go. But it's also open to any residents who don't feel safe in their home and just want to come to a shelter where they can feel a little bit more secure. Certainly they're welcome. Again, we'll get that information out to everyone just as soon as we finalize the last bit of details.
Matt, you have something?
Two more things. Also, the county is going to be declaring a local state of emergency tomorrow morning, effective at 8 o'clock in the morning. That'll last throughout this event. The county policy group, the emergency coordination group, the ECG group will be meeting frequently. That is our senior leader level across Brevard County, so we make those appropriate strategic decisions for our teams. Also, not stealing John Scott's thunder, EOC will go to a level 1 activation tomorrow at 2 p.m. Yes. So you'll have a full up EOC here in Brevard County servicing the citizens of Brevard as we need to do it. So,
yeah. Last 2 things I'll touch on: bridge closures. As I said earlier, we're not closing any bridges. There will be a brief pause after the storm has passed through, where we're just checking the structural nature of the bridges. That'll be real brief. Ideally, we won't have any problems. We'll be able to open those up and get everybody right across. And then when I say brief, it's going to be our team looking at bridges to make sure there's no damage, and we're on our way. And then the last thing is I have great confidence in John and his team here at the EOC. We work great with them. Matt, even though he's an Alabama fan, you can see the lanyard. It's horrible, but he's a sharp guy. We're working this together. And as I said earlier, we're blessed. We got a community that partners with us, does everything we ask them to do. We'll get you the information. You guys just take care of your family and your pets.
Thank you.